Let's listen to the Trump doctor. Trump could be discharged as early as Monday, according to CBS News, according to his physician. Let's take a look.
Good morning. We are awaiting the second official briefing on President Trump's health as he receives treatment for coronavirus. Last night, the president released a video seeking to reassure Americans that he is recovering. Here are the president's doctors.
Since we spoke last, the president has continued to improve. As with any illness, there are frequent ups and downs over the course, particularly when a patient is being so closely watched 24 hours a day. We review and debate every finding, compare it to existing science and literature, weighing the risks and benefits of every intervention, its timing, as well as any potential impacts a delay may have. Over the course of his illness, the president has experienced 2 episodes of transient drops in his oxygen saturation. We debated the reasons for this and whether we'd even intervene. It was a determination of the team, based predominantly on the timeline from the initial diagnosis, that we initiate dexamethasone. I'd like to take this opportunity now, given some speculation over the course of the illness the last couple of days, update you on the course of his own illness. Thursday night into Friday morning when I left the bedside, the president was doing well, with only mild symptoms, and his oxygen was in the high 90s. Late Friday morning when I returned to the bedside, the president had a high fever, and his oxygen saturation was transiently dipping below 94%. Given these 2 developments, I was concerned for possible rapid progression of the illness. I recommended the president we try some supplemental oxygen, see how he'd respond. He was fairly adamant that he didn't need it. He was not short of breath. He was tired, had the fever, and that was about it. And after about a minute, on only 2 liters, his saturation levels were back over. Stayed on that for about an hour, maybe, and it was off and gone. Later that day, by the time the team here was at the bedside, the president had been up out of bed, moving about the residence with only mild symptoms. Despite this, everyone agreed the best course of action was to move to Walter Reed for a more thorough evaluation and monitoring. Now I'd like to invite up Dr. Dooley to discuss current plan.
Thank you, Dr. Conley. Before I begin a brief clinical update on the president's condition, I do want to reiterate my comments from yesterday regarding how proud I am to be a part of this multidisciplinary, multi-institutional team of clinical professionals behind me, and what an honor it is to care for the president here at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. Regarding his clinical status, the patient continues to improve. He has remained without fever since Friday morning. His vital signs are stable. From a pulmonary standpoint, he remains on room air this morning and is not complaining of shortness of breath or other significant respiratory symptoms. He's ambulating himself, walking around the White House Medical Unit without limitation or disability. Our continued monitoring of his cardiac, liver, and kidney function demonstrates continued normal findings or improving findings. And I'll now turn it over to Dr. Garibaldi from Johns Hopkins to talk about our therapeutics and, again, our plan for the day.
Thank you, Dr. Dooley, and I just wanted to again reiterate what an honor and a privilege it is to take care of the president, but to be part of such a talented and multidisciplinary team here at Walter Reed. The president yesterday evening completed his 2nd dose of remdesivir. He's tolerated that infusion well. We've been monitoring for any potential side effects, and he has had none that we can tell. His liver and kidney function have remained normal, and we continue to plan to use a 5-day course of remdesivir. In response to transient low oxygen levels, as Dr. Conley has discussed, we did initiate dexamethasone therapy, and he received his 1st dose of that yesterday.
So I didn't know what dexamethasone was, but apparently it's a steroid that's used for more severe patients. So the problem that I do not understand here is that, like, there's something that these doctors are doing. There's something these doctors are saying that does not match up with what, like, the treatment that Trump is getting does not match up with the statements that they're making, right? Because the statements that they're making always implies that Trump is doing well, Trump is doing well, Trump is doing well, he's doing fine, he's doing fine. But the treatments keep getting increasingly more complicated. whether it be the use clause that they use, the compassionate use clause that they used to give him Regeneron treatment, which is a experimental treatment that hasn't even passed through the third check for FDA. Like it's still in the clinical trial phase, so you can only get that if you're literally near death. Not saying that Trump is near death, but because he's the president, he was probably able to get this experimental treatment. But it's not something that you would give someone who is doing well. Now, they also went back on what they said. They also went back on their statements about Trump getting oxygen. So that's rather alarming. And he's doing well. Stop coping. I think he's doing all right. I think he's doing better than what most people think. I've been saying that he's probably going to survive from day one. So that's not surprising to me, but every time they tell me what they're doing in regards to their treatment, I feel more confused. I feel a sense of confusion because if I see Trump, he seems to be doing decently well. He seems to be doing decently well as far as like as far as the videos that he uploaded, you know, that stuff is getting the message across that he's doing all right. He was able to walk to the helicopter. He's able to put together a 4-minute video. Sure, they cut out the coughs in the video, but it doesn't matter. Coughing is normal. That doesn't imply that he's going to die or anything like that. Like his symptoms seem to be moderate and not as severe as what the treatment that they're pushing on him. And I don't know if they're pushing the most aggressive treatment exclusively so they can like immediately wrap this shit up. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why they're doing this while simultaneously saying nothing to worry about. Trump is doing all right. It's like nothing to worry about, guys. The president's fine. We've also pumped him full of chemo drugs or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh, his cancer. We're just gonna like if someone was a cancer patient, if the president was a cancer patient, okay, in this hypothetical that I'm advancing, and the doctor told you, oh, it's in the first stage. You know, we're just gonna remove the lump, right? And it's totally fine. But then they also were like, we're also accelerating the chemotherapy. Like, you'd be like, hold on. Is he fine? Because that's treatment that you would give him if he wasn't fucking fine. So why is the treatment for someone that's not fucking fine, but you're telling us he's fine? And then you're also spreading misinformation and confusing people by saying he didn't get oxygen, but he did get oxygen. I just don't understand it. It's very confusing that they're doing this. And I can't tell if it's because it's routine incompetence that Trump has cultivated over the past 4 years because he is the single beacon of messaging that comes out of the White House. Or if the situation is dire and they are trying to make it seem like it's not, to you know, chill people out, to calm people.
And our plan is
and yeah, we aren't even in the most dangerous time window yet for coronavirus. Like, they're pumping him full of all this stuff, but this is the early stages where the symptoms are supposed to be severe. I mean, the symptoms are supposed to be moderate anyway.
Continue that for the time being. Today he feels well. He's been up and around. Our plan for today is to have him to eat and drink, be up out of bed as much as possible, to be mobile. And if he continues to look and feel as well as he does today, our hope is that we can plan for a discharge as early as tomorrow to the White House where he can continue his treatment course. Thank you very much, and I'll turn it over to Dr. Connolly for any questions.
Just a moment, please. The President wanted me to share how proud he is of the group, what an honor it is for him to be receiving his care here at Walter Reed, surrounded by such incredible talent, academic leaders, department chairs, internationally renowned researchers and clinicians, including the support of Dr. Garibaldi from Johns Hopkins. I'd like to reiterate how pleased we all are with the President's recovery. And with that, I'll take your question.
So much, Dr. Conley, you said that there were 2 instances where he had drops in oxygen. Can you walk us through the second one? And also, I've got a question for the lung specialist afterwards. Sure,
yeah. Yesterday, there was another episode where he dropped down about 93%. He doesn't ever feel short of breath. We watched it, and it returned back up. as I said, we evaluate all of these, and given the timeline where he is in the course of illness, you know, we are trying to maximize everything that we could do for him, and we debated whether we'd even start it, the dexamethasone, and we decided that in this case, the potential benefits early on the course probably outweighed any risks at this time.
Did you give him a second round of supplemental oxygen yesterday?
I'd have to check with the nursing staff. I don't think that if he did, it was very, very limited. But he's not on oxygen, and the only oxygen that I ordered or that we provided was that Friday morning initially.
And about what time was that yesterday?
Yesterday, what was yesterday?
You said the second instance.
Second incidence? Oh, it was over the course of the day, yeah. Yesterday morning.
Dr. Conley,
Dr.
what
Conley.
is the president's current blood oxygen level? That's my first question to you, Dr. Conley.
98%.
And what do the X-rays and CT scans show? Are there signs of pneumonia? Are there signs of lung involvement or any damage to the lungs?
This guy, going forward, should never be allowed to do any of these press briefings. As soon as he had to apologize about misinforming the public, it's over. Like, you've lost all credibility. Okay? And for the people who are going to turn around and say, like, what about Anthony Fauci? Like, he lost all credibility. It's entirely different to lie about the treatment versus to misinform the public about mask wearing in an instance where there's a novel coronavirus being spread. Like, an epidemiologist gets stuff wrong all the time. This is why they have to be super careful with what kind of message they put out in order not to lose their credibility. But epidemiologists, the World Health Organization, they oftentimes have to toe this delicate balance, toe the line on not making people hysterical versus like not causing hysteria, because that ultimately will lead to less credibility down the line and no one will listen to them, the boy who cried wolf, but also making sure that people are safe and that they are being informed properly. This is entirely different than that. The reason why this is entirely different than that is because his job here is to, one, administer the treatment, but also to inform the public on what treatment has been given already. There is no like additional speculation that he fucked up on. If he speculated that, Trump is not doing all right, he's going to die tomorrow, and then he survived it, that's a little bit different, right? That's a little bit different. You can say it was his like, best medical expertise there, and that was his opinion, but ultimately, that's still different than him talking about something that he is supposed to be doing and something he's supposedly done as far as treating Donald Trump and then lying about it, or getting it wrong. Anyway, I got to run an ad right now because we're at the top of the fucking hour. But hold on, 60-second ad break.
To disclose that the president had been administered oxygen.
It's a good question.
Thank you.
I was trying to reflect the upbeat attitude that the team.
He was cheerleading, dude. Hey guys, I was just doing the presidential trick. This is one trick that presidents love to do, which is called cheerleading, or I don't know, as the common folk know it, lying and deliberately misinforming the public, and then getting caught because I didn't do a good enough job with my lies, which then again is called lying and then failing to lie well enough not to get caught.
The president, that his course of illness has had, didn't want to give any information that might steer the course of illness in another direction, and in doing so, it came off that we were trying to hide something, which wasn't necessarily true. So here I have it. He is the fact of the matter is that he's doing really well. That he is responding, and as the team said, if everything continues to go well, we're going to start discharge planning back to the White House. That's it.
Wait, what? Is this from today's press briefing? Is this a real, I hate Seth Abramson. I hate Seth Abramson. He is like the #1 Russiagate psychopath on the planet, okay? But someone needs to wait, we need to fact check this. If this is a real photo. I mean, it looks real, but oh, this is okay. White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows rubs his head as the Navy Commander Dr. Sean Conley, the White House physician, speaks to the media about the President Donald Trump's health. Oh, it's real. Oh God, he's pulling a nut like this. There is no way, like, yeah, it's just like a moment. Man rubs head. This is news. Trump is furious with the White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows after the top West Wing official contracted White House physician Dr. Sean Conley's assessment of the president on Saturday. Two sources with knowledge of the situation told CNN. Dude, the White House is a sinking ship full of holes too. So like, this is the perfect storm for them, where like they have had so many fucking leaks since the beginning, with people that are like, yeah, this guy fucking sucks, or people that are like, I can't wait to get a book deal because this dude is a psycho. It's going to be awesome when I sell my book deal. So like, they've literally been non-stop coordinating with journalists from day one. And then also on top of that, there is no rank, like there is no way to coordinate messaging because of Donald Trump. Because the only way you coordinate messaging is whatever Donald Trump says. So when you fucking eliminate the dude who is like the final guy who everyone gets their messaging from, when he is incapacitated, there is this massive power vacuum where everybody's kind of doing their own thing. So it's complete fucking chaos. Someone needs to whip that entire fucking system back into shape, but they can't because they keep firing everyone. So there is not a single person who can control the internal communications and the external communications of the White House when it's not Donald Trump. It can't be fucking Mike Pence because he's completely incompetent. It's so funny. It's so funny that like on the one hand, Joe Biden already pulled back. Joe Biden already pulled back on like negative campaign ads. Like they're kind of still failing upwards in the most expected fashion. I mean, that's what you expect from the Democrats, is to just like fucking keep failing and like somehow find a way to literally take a layup and fumble it. Okay. Just, you know, you're wide open and it's just, all you got to do is just drop the ball in that fucking 5-foot basketball hoop. Okay. And you still just slam it. That's what the Democrats do. They fucking slam the backboard and the fucking ball somehow launches the other side of the court and then it's a self goal. All right. Hasan style. Exactly.